It's a city under a city. That would be the most precise description of it.
This is Gaza's tunnel system, known as the Metro to many. It stretches for more than 500 kilometers, according to Hamas, who built it. That's almost half the length of New York's subway system. The Palestinian group has ruled the Gaza Strip since 2007. Its militant wing is classified as a terrorist organization by many countries, including Canada, and they're the ones primarily using the tunnels. During the past 2 decades, Hamas has spent millions of dollars fortifying their tunnel system. But what's it used for? And can civilians shelter from Israeli airstrikes in it? Tunnels have existed under Gaza for years. When Hamas took control of the Gaza Strip in 2007, Israel tightened its blockade of the territory for what it says were security reasons. Part of that was to keep weapons which are provided by Iran out of Gaza. But the blockade, which is also enforced by Egypt in the south, has restricted the flow of basic items. The tunnels which extend into Egypt have typically been the ones used to smuggle food, goods, people, and weapons. During this war, some political scientists say Hamas is using the tunnels to hide and to attack Israeli soldiers from unexpected places.
Hamas fighters are inside the tunnels. Hamas stores rockets and other munitions underneath the tunnel network.
Last year, a spokesperson for the Al-Quds Brigades, that's the second largest Palestinian Islamic Jihad group in Gaza after Hamas, said in an interview with France 24, the tunnels are used for taking Israeli soldiers captive and repelling Israeli ground offensives. That spokesperson also said the tunnel system is a strategic weapon for the Palestinian resistance. Earlier this week, a Hamas official said in an interview with RT, Russian state-controlled television, which was translated by the Middle East Media Research Institute, the tunnels were built to protect Hamas fighters from airstrikes, not civilians. He also said that during wartime, it's the responsibility of the United Nations aid agencies and the party bombing Hamas, in this case the IDF, to protect civilians. We also know that Israeli hostages have been held captive in these tunnels. This 85-year-old Israeli woman who was released a few weeks ago said she had been held hostage in a spiderweb of tunnels by Hamas militants. Israeli airstrikes have been pummeling these tunnels that were built below civilian infrastructures like hospitals, schools, and mosques. This means more than 2 million people live above these targets. That's one of the reasons why this war has had such a high civilian death toll.
This is a tough problem. There is no clear way of fighting through this amount of tunnel networks, and to do so both by minimizing risk to one's old soldiers, but also to whatever civilians, hostages, or what have you, who are caught in the crossfire